Reeves Immigration Law Group now brings you Immigration Law on Your Side.
Magandang gabi mga kababayan, nandito na naman po ang Immigration Law on Your Side from PHLV Radio and syempre mula sa ating mga kaibigan from Reeves Immigration Law Group. Meron po silang opisina dito sa may San Francisco area, sa LA, sa China and sa Philippines. 1-800-795-8009 ang kanilang 1-800 number para madali niyong matawagan sila at www.rreeves.com ang kanilang website. Kuya Yo, nanggagaling po mga kaibigan ngayong gabi sa PHLV Radio Studio dito sa Las Vegas. Unang tanong sa akin ni attorney, kung mainit pa. Mainit pa rin po mga kaibigan dito sa Las Vegas. Today is the second day of September and if you're watching us on demand, ay ang mga information po na aming babanggitin sa aming updates later on are current as of the 2nd of September 2020. Mga kaibigan, maganda po ang pag-uusapan natin ngayon. Ang ating pag-uusapan katulad po ng ating na-post kanina sa ating Facebook page. Ito po yung immigration relief for victims of serious crimes and human trafficking. Alam niyo mga kaibigan, the lack of legal immigration status in the United States, may be among the reasons why some of the victims choose not to come forward and work with law enforcement. Dahil nga naman wala silang status, natatakot sila. Kaya naman mga kaibigan, ang mga perpetrators at yung mga human traffickers ay ginagamit ito mga kaibigan as a leverage, to exploit them and control them. Now, by stabilizing their immigration status here in the United States, immigration relief, some kind of help in terms of immigration para sa mga victims na ito can be critical in providing the victims a greater sense of security. So pag-uusapan natin yung gabi mga kababayan, kasama si Attorney Flomy Javier Diza ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Nandun po siya mga kaibigan sa San Francisco Bay Area. Sabi niya medyo lumalamig ng konti. Buti pa kayo dyan, Attorney, medyo lumalamig na. Mga kaibigan, pag-usapan natin itong immigration relief for victims of serious crimes and human trafficking. A few episodes ago, napag-usapan at nakasama na ito sa ating alphabet soup dito sa ating immigration law on your side. But tonight, we're gonna dive deeper into these two letters, mga kaibigan, ng immigration, ng type of visa sa alphabet soup ng immigration. So kasama natin yung gabi, as usual, from the Bay Area, si Attorney Flomy Javier Diza. Magandang gabi sa iyo, Attorney.
Magandang gabi, Johan, and siyempre sa mga viewers at listeners natin, magandang gabi at September na po tayo ngayon, nag-umpisa na ang paglamig dito sa amin sa Bay Area at saka sa Pilipinas, at naririnig na natin yung matungtong pamasko.
Wow.
At saka mga Christmas decorations. So Merry Christmas po sa inyong lahat dyan at advance po tayo ngayon. Hopefully itong pandemic na to matapos before Christmas at sana po lahat po kayo ay nasa mabuting kalagayan at in good health. Tamang-tama yung pag-usapan natin dahil yung alphabet soup and yung humanitarian immigration po yun, kasama rin dito dahil napag-usapan natin ang last episode ng ating asylum. Part of this humanitarian immigration ay kasama rin yung E and EU visa, right? Na very important na malaman ng mga kababayan natin, lalo na kung wala silang other relief. Kung hindi sila mag-aasawa, wala silang mga magulang or anak na magtutulong sa kanila or wala ring employer mag-petition. So that's why you need to explore all the best or available remedies sa inyo para po makuha ninyo ang inyong green card. Now, very timely to dahil yung P and U are victims, yung mga biktima ng crime. So regardless of the immigration status po yayo, right, it is one of the most liberal na relief sa immigration din dahil let's say meron silang prior removal order, meron silang criminal records na hindi naman malala, right? Meron silang misrepresentation and the man of entry, halimbawa, ay hindi tinitignan yan, like crewman or they came in a different name or they crossed the border, hindi problema yan when they are able to obtain this new entry visa. So unahin natin, Kuya yung U, right? Victim of crimes. So ito'y tinatawag natin na victim of crime that who suffered, o biktima po sila ng serious crime. Pag-usapan natin kung ano mga yun later on right, in the United States, or a violation of US laws while in the US, they're able to apply for what we call a new um, petition para makakuha sila ng status. So yan. And of course, they have to prove that they have suffered physical or mental abuse due to this criminal activity. Yan yung view or victim of crime. Yung P-visa naman ay ito yung mga victims of severe trafficking because of the perpetrators, as you mentioned, or human traffickers who lured an individual to come to the US for a better life. Yung pala hindi, kundi alilayan lang sila, as we term it, a modern day slavery. So pwede rin yun, Kuya, na makakuha sila ng visa under the T or trafficking visa.
Mhm. So, attorney, pagka nagkaroon sila ng T and U visas, what do we expect? What is the intent of these particular visas para mabigyang relief ang ating mga kababayan or anyone who's seeking relief under the T and U visa? What is the intent of these visas?
So, pinasa ito nung year 2000 pa. So, matagal-tagal na rin, about 20 years ago na to. So, ang intent, of course, is number one, is to give protection and status for people who are victims of serious crimes and human trafficking. Pangalawa, para mabigyan din yung mga law enforcement natin, kagaya ng pulis, especially mga pulis, right, na mag-investigate at mag-prosecute ng crimes. And of course, pangatlo, very importantly, is that in-encourage yung mga biktima, lalo na yung mga walang papel, Kuya, to come out and report yung mga criminal activities. Kasi mahirapan ang law enforcement kung ang mga principal witnesses and victims, Kuya, ay nagtatago. Diba? So, hindi pa po prosecute ang mga perpetrators. So basically, ito yung intent ng batas why the T and the U visas were passed.
Mhm. Ano naman, attorney, ang benepisyo pagka ikaw ay nabigyan ng especially the U visa, for example? What kind of a relief will you have? Mabibigyan ka ba ng extension of stay here in the States? Haba ba yung stay mo? Mabibigyan ka ng legal status dito sa Amerika?
Yes, hindi lang U, Kuya, pati ang T. So, pag na-file at na-approve yung U visa application po ninyo, meron po kayong status for about 4 years. So, hindi yung green card automatic o hindi citizenship automatic. So, parang status. So, meron kang 4 years, hindi ka pwedeng i-deport, right? Pwede rin po kayo mag-apply ng work authorization. And you're also able to get a social security, get a driver's license, go to school, mag-establish ng business. So, kumbaga may legal status, parang DACA, Kuya, right? O nasa student visa, nasa status po kayo. Hindi po kayo illegal once na nabigyan po kayo ng status na to. At hindi lang yan. Even with the prior unlawful stay, let's say 10 years po kayong overstay na or TNT sa Amerika, and then nag-file po kayo ng U or T visa at kayo na-approve, that might makes your status kind of legal under the U and the T. So that's good for 4 years at hindi lang yan. Once na makompleto yung 4 years at good moral person po kayo and you still continue to participate and cooperate with the investigation kung ongoing pa yung investigation, pwede po kayo mag-apply ng green card. So that's really a very important thing. But also remember sa mga ng UNT visa din is mayroong quota, di ba? Parang pinag-usapan natin ng H1B kung mayroong 65,000 a year yan, ang EU visa ay mayroong lang 10,000. So masyadong mababa, di ba? So considering na maraming biktima at maraming mga family members din ang involved, 10,000 po ang cap niyan a year. And yung mga T visa naman ay 5,000 ang cap. So yun po, tignan po ninyo kung eligible po kayo niyan and we can assess kung papasok po kayo doon sa T or U visa.
Talking about eligibility, attorney, what are the basic requirements for these visas? Ano ang dapat nangyari sa'yo para ikaw ay mag-qualify for these visas?
Yes, unang-una diyan, Kuya, ay yung biktima ay sa victim of a qualifying crime. So pag-usapan natin yan. And we said it's a serious crimes, di ba? Hindi lang nainis ka sa kapitbahay mo, that's considered a crime. Now, we'll be discussing the qualifying crimes, which is serious. Number two, the crimes must have occurred in the U.S. Sa U.S. nangyari yan. right? Or violated U.S. law. So even if outside the U.S., if that's a violation of U.S. law, pwede ka rin mag-file ng new visa. Number 3 is the victim has a credible information, right, about the crime. Kasi siyempre, gusto ka, may information ka. At parang ikaw ang nag-witness. Number 4 is victim must have been cooperative with the law enforcement, no, in the investigation and prosecution ng crime na yon. And of course, the last one would be the victim suffered physical or mental abuse as a result of this qualifying crime. So, yun ang mga requirements para po sila makapag-file. Ano, and again, it's very important to determine kung ano yung mga qualifying crimes din. So, usapan natin.
Yes. So, attorney, punta na tayo doon sa listahan ng mga crimes. Ano po ang mga crimes by which pag nangyari ito sa inyo ay you will be qualified to apply for these visas?
Yes, ang mga crimes na to marami to, but as again as we mentioned, it's a mysterious crime. Ang very common na nangyayari ng mga client natin ay number 1, domestic violence. Right? Violence, if you have a partner, right? and you live together and you're subjected to domestic violence, that could be one. Well, to distinguish that from yung asawa ng US citizen or green card holder, instead of you filing a new visa sa victim of crime, pwede po kayo mag-file ng patent spouse, which I think that's the episode, right? Pero kung hindi po kayo kasal sa partner po ninyo, or hindi citizen yung partner niyo, or asawa ninyo, pwede kayo mag-file ng new visa because one of the common crimes, as I mentioned, is domestic violence. Number 2 would be felonious assault. Yung sa ating term ay physical injury, di ba? So, kung may nambugbog sa inyo sa daan, right, pwede kayo mag-file. Nasaktan kayo or may sinugod kayo sa bahay, that's also another one. Robbery is one too. Robbery is use of force, right, to get something from other person. Let's say, pinasok yung bahay nyo, right, o tinutukan ka ng barel, right, and kinuha yung wallet o yung pera, yung mga alahas, that's constitute robbery, pwede mag-qualify as crime. So, ito yung mga tatlong very common cases na we always encounter, pero marami pa rin yan, kagaya ng rape or false imprisonment is one, incest, trafficking, perjury, prostitution, rape, sexual assault, and sexual exploitation. So there's a long list of serious crimes, and of course, meron yung sinasabi all related or similar crimes. So, pwede rin yun. Kahit po hindi nakalista dyan yung crime, halimbawa, and if you think that pwede qualify o pwede sabihin na related to sa robbery or sa felonious assault, then probably we can try filing as duty deputy. Ito yung mga crimes na pwede gamitin once you file for the
Nabanggit nyo, attorney, kanina that the victim should have some sort of information na makakatulong sa law enforcement. What kind of information ang dapat hawak niya para mag-qualify siya, attorney?
So that person must have a possession of that information. Kung baka meron siyang first-hand knowledge, di ba? Yung nasa sa kanya at ito naging exclusive yan. So, siya dapat ang witness. But of course, may exception yan po yun. Halimbawa, yung bata ay kung ang witness ay bata. Diba? So kung below 16 bata, parents can be the person applying for the new visa. So yun ang pinaganda nito dahil the parent na walang status, for example, yung naka-witness ng crime is a US citizen, yung parent na walang papel, yun ang pwede mag-file.
Nabanggit nyo rin kanina na that the victim should be willing to cooperate or be helpful sa law enforcement. How do you define that? I mean, like, how helpful should you be sa law enforcement to qualify for this?
Ang sa mga requirements niyan, Kuya, of course, yung either nag-report ka sa police, right? Voluntarily nag-report ka sa police at siyempre there's evidence na yung report. O halimbawa, may nag-report yung kapitbahay po ninyo, right? At sabi nga, mayroon mga pulo sa kapitbahay namin. And then may tumatok na pulis at sila yung nag-investigate, nagtatanong. Siyempre, dapat kayo nag-report mag-volunteer or magsasabi kung anong nangyari. Kasi if you don't uh, testify, or hindi po kayo magbibigay ng inyong nalalaman, hindi po kayo magka-qualify as a UB. So you have to be cooperative and very helpful in the investigation and prosecution ng kaso. So dalawa yan, di ba? So may mga cases din po yun. It's very important na hindi natin kailangan ng conviction dito, di ba? So let's say, may nagsumbong, right? Or mayroong sinabi yung kapitbahay natin, kapitbahay namin nag-aaway. Nag-aaway yan, right? So sinabi ng asawa na binubili ako nito. And then eventually, let's say, hindi na tinapos yung kaso. May mga police report and everything, but the case is either leaked, hindi na pinagpatuloy or, ng police or ng prosecution, pwede pa rin yun. So the conviction is not a prerequisite para po kayo mag-apply ng dilita. O yung pag-aresto ng tao, hindi yung prerequisite yan. Basta lang nag-report po kayo. You came out, you provided your statement and the account ng events, pwede po kayo mag-file. Right? So yan yung mga requirements yan. Hindi po natin kailangan ma-aresto or ma-convict yung tao bago po yung file.
So what's the procedure, attorney? Pag mag-a-apply ka nito, there are forms definitely na kailangang i-file. Ano po, attorney? And as you mentioned kanina, dapat nag-file ka ng police report and everything. So what are the paperwork na kailangan mo, attorney, for this?
Yeah, aside from the police report, that kailangan mo rin ng certification ng police authority, or yung prosecution kung sino man magse-certify. So let's say hindi enough yung police report na i-provide mo na ito yung statement ko. Sa mga requirement, yung form na sinasabi mo, kung I think 918, I-918, that you request yung police officer or a prosecutor or even a judge, right? Na i-fill out mo yung form na yun, i-provide mo yung information about, the applicant and the event and ano yung nangyari, and of course, attach mo din yung police report, and then that certifying officer, tinatawag natin certifying officer with time, right? That form, para lang prerequisite lang para ikaw ay makapag-file ng new visa. Kasi kung wala ho yung certification ng police na yan, hindi po kayo maka-first base, hindi po kayo pwedeng generate kayo CIS. And again, it's a really struggle for immigration attorneys, right, na lalo na sa mga areas na certificate, right, to get the certification from authority. Kasi akala nila, nagbibigay sila ng green card sa mga, undocumented. And then you explain to them as an immigration advocate that, no, you're not. You're just saying that you're just certifying that this person is cooperating or has cooperated or continuously cooperating with your investigation and prosecution case.
I realize that this is really going to be a challenge because if somebody who's undocumented, may nangyari, in the first place, baka matakot mag-file ng police report because wala siyang status. So, gaano katagal po ba, attorney, na pwedeng balikan? Yung say, for example, hindi sila nag-file ng police report, nangyari yung crime a year ago or something. Gaano katagal na pwedeng balikan po yung pangyayari na yon at i-file yung police report?
Wala nang mga requirements, Kuya Yo. It's just that, syempre, yung credibility mo, right? And the willingness of the police to what do you call this, to sign yung certification, right? Now, mayroon po kaming places na nangyari like in the 90s, mid-1990s or late 1990s. When we convinced yung certifying officer na pirmahan mo naman kasi nandiyan yung police report. As long as you have that police report, then you have a case, right? So let's say mabigat yung kaso na yun, witness mo ang murder, for example, or domestic violence, merong report yan and it's fully documented, right? You can still go back in time and ask kung sino yung certified officer na yun ng let's say Los Angeles Police Department o ng Las Vegas Police Department, pupuntahan mo at sasabihin mo ito yung police report, nag-cooperate yung client ko. So, can you sign this certification? Ang problema dyan is that kung yung kliyente or yung applicant ay biktima ng crime, let's say, long time ago, pero hindi niya ni-report.
Yeah.
Right? So it's going to be very difficult for that applicant to say, hey, binugbog ako nito.
Yeah.
Paano mo nga ito-prove? Paano ito-prove? Like, sabi mo 1995, 1990s, anong prove mo?
Right.
Now, yes, of course, meron pa siguro hospital records. But even that, it's going to be very, very difficult. So very important, of course, is, again, the cooperation. So you have to have that police report or hospital records para you can ask the certifying officer to agree na cooperative po kayo sa investigation ng criminal activity.
Mm-hmm. Kaya mga kaibigan, make sure that if something like this happens, meron po kayong record of all of those things. And siguro makakatulong din kung meron kayong kamukha nung sinabi ni attorney, mga medical records, psychological reports, or maybe some news reports kung napabalita, ano po attorney? Halimbawa, yung pangyayari sa'yo nung binugbog ka ay lumabas sa dyaryo. Dapat siguro maitago mo yung dyaryo na yon, and that could probably help you po, ano attorney?
Yes, those are very good evidence, Kuya. And just to give an example sa mga viewers and listeners natin, and I think I mentioned this sa ating one of our episodes, but very common yung kliyente ko where he was at the BART station like 10 o'clock coming from work, and there were some two men who were armed with meron silang baril rather. And tinutukan siya, kinuha yung kanyang wallet, yung kanyang watch, sa kanyang Apple cellphone. So, siyempre, tinutukan siya ng baril and every nakuha lahat sa kanya yung kanyang gamit, and what he did is he went to the police and help them locate these people. Kasi yung iPhone niya, Kuya, merong Find Me, yung iPhone, di ba?
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Find Me yung iPhone, nakita nila na arrest ko. That's a good example ng new visa. Another example is yung client naman where he was a Muslim driver, and then got shot. Then, hindi nahanap kung sino yung bumaril sa kanya, pero merong report na binaril o nabaril at na-hospital at, nagkaroon siya hindi nakapagtrabaho for a year. So, yun yung mga evidence na yun. And the good thing about the U visa as well is that kahit wala dito yung family mo, let's say you're able to get the U visa status, pwede mong i-apply yung family mo from abroad. Kasi nasa Pilipinas sila, may asawa ka doon, mayroong tatlong anak na minor, below 21, they're able also to come here on a visa. U derivative. So even if they were not here when the crime occurred, right, as long as the principal applicant was here and a victim and was certified to be a victim and cooperative, then yung family member will be able to come here once the U visa is approved. So yun yung example natin ng mga U cases.
Mm-hmm. So mga kaibigan, letter U pa lang yan. Meron tayong isa pang letra for this particular situation, immigration relief for victims of serious crimes and human trafficking. We're going to head over, attorney, to a break. Let's remind them of the contact information ng ating law firm, ang Reeves Immigration Law Group. When we come back, mga kaibigan, pag-usapan naman namin ni attorney ang T-Visa. Related, mga kaibigan, marami pa rin kayong mapupulot na mga information sa ating immigration law on your side. Attorney, we're going to head over to a break, and when we come back, pag-usapan po natin ang T-Visa. Diyan lang po kayo, mga kaibigan.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has been representing immigrants for nearly 40 years. Reeves Immigration Law Group has been fighting for its clients through experience and expertise. With immigration lawyers you can access at reasonable fees, even on Saturday. Payment plans are also available. Call us for your immigration solutions. We can do worldwide telephone and Skype consultations. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009. Reeves Immigration Law Group has offices in Los Angeles, San Francisco, China, and Philippines. See us at www.rreeves.com. Reeves Immigration Law Group, 1-800-795-8009.
Mga kaibigan, nagbabalik po ang Immigration Law on your side. Hatid po sa atin ng Reeves Immigration Law Group. Puntaan lamang po ang kanilang website for more information. And not only that, ang kanilang mga social media pages, social media profiles ni Attorney Flomi Javier Diza, FJ Diza, U.S. Immigration Attorney, and ang Reeves Immigration Law Group both on Instagram and Facebook. Nandun po sila para po mamanmanan ninyo ang mga information and latest updates from Reeves Immigration Law Group. Before we headed to a break, we told you that we're going to talk about the T-Visa. Kadikit pa rin mga kaibigan sa pinag-uusapan natin regarding immigration relief for victims of serious crimes and human trafficking. Attorney, tawid tayo sa letter T. Ano naman po itong T-Visa?
Yes, yung T-Visa, Kuya Yo, is a trafficking, hindi kagaya ng you na victim of crime. At least, you can still remember na it's a trafficking visa. Unang-una yung victim must be, what we call this, he must be a victim of severe trafficking, right? And he must have been lured to come to the U.S. and promise, the land of milk and honey, right? A good life, good employment, pero only to find out na hindi pala. Also, the victim must be in the U.S. on account of the trafficking. Very important to dahil yung mga iba, kala nila na, let's say, they came here on a tourist visa, nag-overstay sila for a long time, and then they work on some companies like the caregiver or like restaurant staff, At sasabihin nila na hindi binayaran ng tama, yung kanilang sweldo, at sinasabi na hindi binabayaran ng overtime. So, the question there is, attorney, eligible ba ako ng trafficking ng visa? Now, I said, unfortunate situation, right? It's an unfortunate situation right now, pero hindi po kayo eligible ng T-Visa dahil hindi po kayo na-biktima ng trafficking, right? Na nakarating sa Amerika dito sa trafficking. Diba? Nangyari na yun, nandito na kayo. There might be some other laws that apply to you, like labor laws, right? For not paying you the exact minimum wage or kung yung mga overtime pay and stuff like that, you're still eligible for that. But you're not eligible for trafficking because you did not enter America and traffic into the U.S. Right? So it's very important. You are physically present in America because of that trafficking. And then also the victim, like the U-Visa, is that they are willing and able and cooperative in the investigation and prosecution of traffickers. And of course, proven natin the trafficker, the victim must show that his removal from the U.S. is causing infraction. Now, yung example natin dito, Kuya Yo, is that yung mga nare-recruit ng mga kababayan natin ng HPV, right? Yung mga working, yung mga katrabaho sa mga temporary workers rather, sa either agricultural land, agriculture, or sa mga hotels. Yung tawag natin temporary seasonal workers. Right, yung mga HPV. And in the past, marami sa kanila na may mga mass recruitment, mga Filipino, right, to work at a certain hotel. Yung pala hindi sila doon patatrabahuin, kundi malamig na lugar na walang heater, right? Wala silang mga kumot, wala silang beds. Mga nangikinig na sila sa bed dahil wala silang natin. Right? And they have also provided evidence na sila pinabayaran ng tama, and they were brought here to work on the seasonal temporary worker. Right? So that's proof ng kanilang trafficking. So marami sa mga kababayan natin dyan. And there was also a situation where a Philippine, I think, works from the Philippines or the Philippine consulate where they were able to bring yung mga house helpers nila, right? O mga nannies, drivers, and everything from back home. But instead of working for them, yung kanilang mga nanny na dinala sa US ay pinapatrabaho sa mga kapatidang kamag-anak. And that's also, we're able to prove that they're victim of trafficking. Remember, as we said, this is a modern-day slavery. Right? Not necessarily na hard labor ito, but also like, in living situations, right? Unbearable yan, and also they're not getting the salaries as provided by law and as promised. Ito yung mga trafficking natin. And plus, kagaya ng EU visa, meron din cap ito. It's only 5,000 kasama ang family members. And, once this EU visa is approved, nasa status sila, kagaya ng EU visa for about 4 years. Nasa legal status sila. And they are able to get their green card or apply for green card after 2 years and eventually become a citizen 5 years after they get the green card. So So you and visa are great ways, to get a visa, Kuya Yo, kung wala po kayong asawa o kamag-anak sa US. And as an attorney, I encountered a client where we discuss yung options, discuss natin yung mga nangyari sa kanya when it came to America, tinanong natin kung anong relief niya, kung meron siyang claim ng asylum na natawag siya pinuwi, na asawa pa siya, may anak pa siya. Hindi ko sabi, wala lahat attorney. Naging na ka ba ng crime? Yun ang tanong ko. Sabi niya, ano ba yan? So, I-explain yung parang dito. And sabi niya, hindi. Pero you know what, after meron na siyang, parang meron na siyang proof na masakit na yung kanyang, what do you call this, yung kanyang kamay. At sinabi niya na binigyan daw siya sa daan. And sabi ko na saan police report mo, saan natatapos na mag-report. So anyway, what I'm saying is, you have to have a good evidence and proof when you're going to file it. We don't want and we don't wish our client na maging biktima sila ng crimes, especially serious crime, and especially also serious trafficking. But if this happens to you, right, or to any of your family members long time ago, you might want to explore it because really to the way to get something in the future, lalo na kung matagal na po kayo dito. The only negative thing dito, mga kababayan, is that yung waiting time, yung processing time dito matagal. Right? Nawaawit yata ng 2 hanggang 4 na taon. Once you file, bago ka bigyan ng status. So it might be too long, but it's better to have something, right, than nothing. So kung hindi po, mga kababayan, who knows, eligible po kayo ng U o TV.
Ayan. So, alam mo, attorney, nung binabagid natin ito sa ating alphabet soup, ito ay medyo nasa dulo na mga kaibigan. Pero this is a very important discussion, especially sa ating mga kababayan. And paano po, attorney, fina-file ito? Anong form po ang ating ginagamit para i-file ang T-visa? Kamukha din po ba ng U or this is a different form?
Yeah, it's a different form, Kuya Yo. It's not a requirement that you need to have that certification from the law enforcement agency. It's additional evidence, and as an immigration attorney, we recommend kung meron po kayong certification, but it's not as strict as the requirement. So yun ang kailangan mo lang is of course yung statement, and if there's a police report, you can provide that. You don't, as I said, you don't necessarily need yung certification ng agency is certify yan. So once you file it, then you have to wait for the approval. And then once it's approved, then you get the work authorization and the valid or legal status for the year. But pwede rin umuwi, Kuya Yo. Once the status is approved, but you still have to apply for what you call advance parole. Mm-hmm. Para maka-uwi at hindi tayo ng family members. The only thing here is that you need to be in the US. Hindi dapat nagtatagal outside the US for over a year. Right? Yes. And also, once you are told by the police or prosecutor or the judge to testify, you are willing to. Kasi from time to time, kahit 4 na taon yung lumagpas, 5 taon na lumipas, you still have to make that statement that you are still cooperating, lalo kung hindi pa nahuhuli by yung perpetrators or still ongoing hassle. You have to be ready to testify and cooperate.
Mm-hmm. Kaya kung may balak po kayo umuwi mga kaibigan and you're under this advanced parole, make sure you're coordinating with your relatives back here if they are receiving letters or any information from immigration. At wag po kayong tatagal sa Pilipinas at nagbabakasyon doon at hindi nalalaman kung ikaw ay tinatawag na dito. So that's very important. So attorney, if one of our kababayans or those who are listening to us, they have a situation that would fit into these situations, how do they contact the Reeves Immigration Law Group if they wanted to find more information about it, attorney?
Yes, we have we have several offices in the United States. You can also look at our website, rreeves.com, or Google search yung pangalan namin o yung law firm namin o yung pangalan ko, you can find us easily. Call us also, San Francisco office 415-568-8777. Up to this time, Kuya Yo, we provide free legal consultation. We can do Skype or Zoom conference or telephone conference. As most companies do, we don't accept in-person consultation pa. We want to be a part of the solution of this pandemic para matapos na ito. So you can easily reach us by calling our telephone number as you can see on our website and on our social media platforms.
Right. And mga kabigan, tumawag lamang sa kanilang 1-800 number 1-800-795-8009 kung meron po kayong mga tanong. And of course, hanapin natin ang ating kabigang si Attorney Flomi Javier Diza. So Attorney, at this point, habang nandito na rin lang naman tayo, today is the 2nd of September. Di natin akalain na aabot tayo ng September na nagzo-zoom pa rin tayo ng ganito, Attorney. And we thought in March na isang buwan lang tayong medyo naka-remote. But now it's already the bare months and we're still zooming because of the pandemic. Attorney, ano na po ba ang mga updates sa ating immigration? Alam ko, tataas yung presyo ng mga filing. But ano po ang mga ibang updates ngayon, Attorney?
Yes, yung USCIS, nag-reopen na sila since June pero unti-unti pa rin, yung citizenship or naturalization interviews and oath-taking yung pinaprioritize nila. Meron na po tayong interview with regard to yung mga adjustment of status based on marriage. Meron nakakatanggap na po tayo ng interviews. Meron na rin tayong mga 751, yung mga removal of conditions. So, nag-open na sila but, gradual. Yung immigration courts are still closed, right, until September 18. Yung mga non-detained, yung mga susarado pa po yan. Yung US embassies, meron na pong nag-open. But as we mentioned, meron din tayong suspension of immigration President Trump. That is still in place until end of this month, end of the year, until December 31 of this year. So kahit na gradual reopening na rin ang US Embassy, hindi lahat ay magkakaroon ng interview. Ang exception po dyan kay President Trump na executive order ay kung asawa po kayo ng US citizen or kayo US citizen with minor children. Ito ang exception, and you can also make an argument if you are in the medical profession, right? Isa sa mga exception din yan if the US Embassy is already open. I heard that one of our clients already had an interview yesterday, September 1, that they might have reopened it in the month of September. But again, this only applies for immediate relative or if you are spouse of a US citizen. Contact our office kung sa tingin nyo qualified to use exception because you work in the medical field, any of the beneficiary or derivative beneficiaries are fit into the medical field professional. So yun yung updates po natin sa mga offices. At aside from that, Kuya Yo, mayroon ding announcement ang Department of State. Dalawa very important din na announcement nila. Unang-una yung mga may non-immigrant visa daw, yung mga tourist visa na pa-expire na, pwede silang i-waive yung kanilang interview. So let's say mag-expire yung tourist visa, nabigyan ka ng 10 years halimbawa, di ba? And then mag-expire yung tourist visa ng March next year, pwede na po kayong mag-apply or ng extension at hindi po kayo interview. So parang drop off lang ninyo yung visa ninyo, yung application niyo sa embassy. So find out sa kanilang website. That's a very important announcement that says applicants whose non-immigrant visa expire within 24 months are now eligible for the waiver interview. So walang interview. Effective lang ho ito hanggang end of this year as well, hanggang December 31, 2020. Now the second announcement ng Department of State ay yung mga fiancé, Kuya Yo, dahil may validity yan di ba? Sinabi natin, pag na-approve po ang fiancé nyo, you have 4 months para po makarating dito yung fiancé nyo. Right? So, yung mga na-approve long time ago, ilang buwan ng pandemic, right? They say that they automatically extends yung validity ng K1. So, wag po kayo mag-alala kung mayroon kayong mga fiancé na na-approve na at hindi pa interview dahil nasa pandemic at dahil sa suspension of immigration ng ating Pangulo, your K1, I-29, visa approval is automatically extended for another 4 months. And kung mag-show yun ng 4 months, automatically extended pa. So, no worries about it. So, yun po ang mga updates natin sa US immigration. And as you mentioned, new, right, as of September 2 of 2020.
Ayan. Maraming salamat, attorney, for those updates, and I'm sure dahil malapit na ang Pasko, like everyone's really looking forward to having a Christmas earlier para naman mabago ang ating vibe. I'm sure marami sa ating mga kababayan ang nagtatanong at medyo naiinip na kung makakauwi ba ako ng Pilipinas, kung makakarating ba yung aking mga relatives dito. Pasyalan ng mga nasa isip. Pero kamukha nga po ng nasabi ni attorney, marami pa pong mga in place na mga batas ngayon, like for example, yung until the end of the year, and yung iba, marami pang iba. Kaya manatili pong nakatutok sa ating immigration law on your side para malaman nyo ang mga updates galing sa Reeves Immigration Law Group. So, attorney, let's give you this opportunity to once again talk to our audience and mga clients ng ating law firm, ang Reeves Immigration Law Group. Kung meron pa po kayong ibang mga announcements para sa kanila.
Yes, continue watching and listening to PHLV Radio, and hopefully, Kuya, maririnig na rin natin ang tugtuging pamasko sa PHLV Radio.
Yes!
And patronize po natin lahat ng programa ng PHLV Radio, kasama dyan ang Immigration Law on Your Side, at sa mga lahat ng mga gandang programa ng PHLV Radio, pakinggan at panoorin po natin lahat. Ano po, ang aming opisina, as we mentioned, we have several offices. We still provide free legal consultation. Most of our attorneys are immigration specialists. At by the way, na-feature po ang mga partners ng Reeves Immigration Law Group sa Daily Mail, one of the newspapers ng California, San Francisco, and Las Vegas. At na-interview mga partners. Hopefully, I'll be able to share that on our social media platforms and see how we became attorneys and partners of the firm. That's for sure. And again, my phone number is 415-568-3777. Stay safe and be healthy. Before I end this way, I would like to quote President Obama, because he's always talk about immigration, and I pull out some of the inspiring immigration quotes. He said, "What makes someone American isn't just blood or birth, but allegiance to our founding principles and faith in the idea that anyone from anywhere can write the next chapter of our story." And that's from President Obama, President of the United States, but previous President of the US. Maraming salamat, Kuya Yo, at have a good evening.
Maraming salamat once again, Attorney Diza. Live po siya, mga kaibigan. Via Zoom pa rin kami ni Attorney. Siya po ay nandoon sa Bay Area. Si Kuya Yo naman nandito sa studios ng PHLV Radio. And medyo pagpasensyaan yung mga kaibigan. Minsan medyo ang audio natin ay medyo, because thousands of kids are also online because of the online school. So naglalaban-laban, mga kaibigan, sa internet ang ating mga programs, ang mga bata na nasa school online ngayon. So sometimes naglalag po yung ating audio or yung ating video. Medyo pagpasensyaan nyo na konti, mga kaibigan. But ganun pa man, mainit pa rin ang ating napag-usapan ngayon sa ating immigration law on your side. Immigration relief for victims of serious crimes and human trafficking, and the information that attorney brought to you, yung mga updates current as of the 2nd of September 2020. So mga kaibigan, in behalf of our friends from Reeves Immigration Law Group, si Attorney Diza, na nandyan, nakikita nyo pa rin sa screen. Ito po si Kuya Yo, nanggagaling po sa PHLV Radio Studio. Nandito po kami sa 3909 South Maryland Parkway, Suite 215, Las Vegas, Nevada 89119. Kung meron po kayong mga gustong ipaabot sa aming himpilan at sa programang ito, ipadala lamang dyan sa address na yan o kaya sa info@phlvradio.com. So hanggang sa susunod, mga kabigan, ito po si Kuya Yo ng PHLV Radio. Stay safe.
Reeves Immigration Law Group has just brought you Immigration Law on Your Side. Wednesdays, 7 p.m. Pacific on PHLV Radio.